Hey, what's up, guys? Wrestling fan 0011 is back here to give you my Royal Rumble 2011 pay-per-view review. I just got finished watching the show, and I gotta say, I was really surprised with this pay-per-view. I mean, back in my predictions video, I just said I was expecting like a decent pay-per-view, like maybe a 6 out of 10. I never expected the pay-per-view to be this good. Seriously, this was like really awesome. I never expected anything like that. Alright, and also, by the way, I'll be reviewing my TNA Best of the Bloodiest Brawls DVD review, part 2, by the way. And I also got finished watching that today, and this was the best DVD of TNA I've ever seen so far. Very awesome. Alright, I'll get to that later, but first let's get to my first review of Royal Rumble 2011. Alright. So the first match was for the World Heavyweight Championship, Dolph Ziggler versus the champion, Edge, and this was a very nice opener. We saw some great action from these guys, and they had like 20 minutes of this. I mean, and they also had this. I never knew that Dolph Ziggler was this great. I mean, back in my predictions video, I said that he was not really World Heavyweight Championship material just yet, but now that I've seen this match, he definitely deserves a title shot again. And if he ever does become World Heavyweight Champion, I say he definitely deserves it. And they also did like a really nice counter in this match. Like Dolph Ziggler was gonna go for some kind of famouser to Edge, and then Edge reversed into a powerbomb. That was pretty cool. And also, here's the thing: the spear was banned in this match, and then, well, after Edge hit the Impaler on uh on Dolph Ziggler, Kelly came down and then attacked Vicky Guerrero, but the attack really didn't look much of anything. She just got on top of her and then just started like going all over her face and stuff. It didn't really look like that much. And it looked like made her look like she was knocked out, so that was kind of stupid right there. But then Edge hit the spear without anybody looking, including the ref, because he got knocked down during like some kind of move. I can't remember what it was. And then when the referee got up, Edge hit the unprettier, or should I say the kill switch, uh, onto Dolph Ziggler, and he got the win. And I think this might mean that Edge and Christian are going to form a tag team again. It might be good to see jokes and all. I don't know. Maybe if they form as a tag team, it might be okay.
I guess. But this is a very nice match, very good opener, and a very funny ending too. So I'm going to rate this 4 stars. Very nice match. And then the next match was for the WWE Championship, The Miz versus Randy Orton, and this also was a very nice match. But the beginning part of the match was a little slow at first, but then like after like the 3 minute mark, like I said, the first 3 minutes were actually really slow. But then after the 3 minutes, it got better, and then Nexus, and then they did some great technical wrestling moves, and then Randy Orton was in the upper advantage, and then the new Nexus came out, Mason Ryan, uh, Michael McGillicuddy, um, what were the other guys? Oh, Husky Harris and David Otunga. Those guys came out, and then they were distracting the ref, and then Alex Riley interfered in the match, and he did this insane thing. Like, Randy Orton, he just grabbed Alex Riley by the head, and he threw him over the top rope, and Alex Riley actually, like, flew over the top rope, and then he landed on the top of the new Nexus. That was insane right there. That was a very nice spot. And then The Miz was going to go for the skull crushing finale, but then Randy Orton reversed that into the RKO. But then CM Punk came out, hit him with the GTS, and then put The Miz on top of Randy Orton, and then Miz retained the title. I guess this was an okay match. So then I guess this might mean that Randy Orton is going to face CM Punk uh, at WrestleMania. It might be okay, I guess. And then I guess this does mean that The Miz is going to go into WrestleMania as the champion. I don't know if it'll be like a great WrestleMania and all. It might be okay, but oh well. Yeah, anyways, and this match was very nice. I'm gonna rate this 3 3/4, and the reason is because of like the beginning and all, because the beginning of the match was not really great. All right. Then the next match was originally supposed to be Natalya against McCool in a handicap match for the Divas Championship, but then the anonymous GM got on, and then he said it was turning into a fatal four-way match. It'll be Natalya,
versus Eve versus Michelle McCool versus Layla. And this match really sucked. And because it was really short and all, and they really didn't even do anything in this match. And then Michelle McCool and Layla actually had a standoff or something, but then it got ruined because then they started attacking. And then here's the biggest part of all. The ending came where Eve did some kind of moonsault to Layla, and then she got the pin. But also, while Eve pinned Layla, Michelle McCool did a roll up to Natalya, and it looked like a double pinfall. But the referee didn't see that, and well, then Eve got the title. That was a very crappy ending. And not only that, Natalya is a great women's wrestler. She should have held the title for a little longer. Seriously. I mean, I've already seen Eve as the champion. I mean, I don't have a problem with Eve as the champion, but seriously, the ending was very crappy. And this was actually the worst match of the night. So yeah, I'm rating this 1 star. Very crappy match. And then we get to the 40-man Royal Rumble match, and this was a very nice match. A very good Royal Rumble. And let's kick off. The first 2 guys that started the match were Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, and at first they started out pretty good. And the next guy that came out was a member of the Core, Justin Gabriel, and then he started to have a good attack on CM Punk, and then he went to go for the 450 splash, and then he missed, and then Daniel Bryan eliminated him. And well, then this is where things got kicked off and all. And then Daniel Bryan eliminated 2 guys in an instant. He eliminated Justin Gabriel, and then the next guy that came out, who was Zack Ryder. And then the action was going pretty good at first, and well, then the Nexus came out, and CM Punk was eliminating guys all over. At first he eliminated Daniel Bryan, then he eliminated Chris Masters, then R-Truth, Mark Henry, and hold on a sec. Oh, right. He also eliminated Vladimir Kozlov, too. Sorry about that. But then, the biggest part of all was when the Great Khali came out, and then he eliminated Husky Harris, which got the upper advantage down. And then Mason Ryan came down, and then he eliminated the Great Khali, which was really impressive. And then the other guy that came out was the returning Booker T, and he actually did pretty good in this match. I mean, even though he was only in this match for about a good 20 minutes, I mean, maybe for a good 10 minutes or something, he actually did okay. He did a good bookend, he did a good axe kick, he did a really good on his kicks and all, like I said. And we also saw the return of the Spinneroonie, which was pretty hysterical. And also, oh wait, no, Booker T didn't eliminate anybody. Sorry, he didn't eliminate anybody. But then Mason Ryan, he did eliminate Booker T. And, well then, Matt Striker, he was going crazy after Booker T got eliminated. He was so mad after that. So, yeah, that was pretty funny there. And then John Cena came out, and then he eliminated, first he eliminated Mason Ryan, then he eliminated Husky Harris and Michael McGillicuddy, and then after that, they were brawling for a little while, and then John Cena eliminated CM Punk, and also Hornswoggle came out, and this was the worst part of the match. John Cena and Hornswoggle were working together. And here's what happened. Then Tyson Kidd came out. John Cena hit the attitude adjustment on Tyson Kidd, but then Hornswoggle asked to do it on Tyson Kidd, and I actually was surprised that Hornswoggle actually lifted Tyson Kidd up. I never knew he could do that. Yeah, and then Tyson Kidd got eliminated, and then the next guy was Heath Slater, another member of the Core, and then John Cena and Hornswoggle did a double 5-knuckle shuffle, which was very crappy. They should have just eliminated Hornswoggle right away. He's not really a great performer. I don't like all that comedy crap he does. Oh well. And then we did see the returning Diesel, and I didn't really like this at all. And I don't get why the fans were cheering for him, because, well, I know Diesel is really Kevin Nash, and Kevin Nash is a terrible wrestler. And then he did get eliminated by Wade Barrett. And I honestly do hope that Kevin Nash is retired for good after this. If he goes to the WWE, then that will be terrible for WWE. Oh well. And, well, then we got down to the Final Four. We got down to Randy Orton, Alberto Del Rio, John Cena, and Wade Barrett. Well, at first, John Cena got eliminated by The Miz, who was not in the match. He was on commentary for Alex Riley. And then The Miz eliminated John Cena and got away. Then Randy Orton eliminated Wade Barrett. Then Alberto Del Rio eliminated Randy Orton. And then they made him look like he won, but then he didn't win because they didn't eliminate Santino Marella. And then Santino Marella got up behind. He got up behind Alberto Del Rio, hit the Cobra, and the entire arena was going crazy because I know they wanted Santino Marella to win. And then Santino Marella was going to throw him over the top rope. Alberto Del Rio reversed it, and he won. And then Alberto Del Rio won the Royal Rumble. I don't know about Alberto Del Rio. Maybe he might be a good World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, we did see him put up a good fight at the TLC pay-per-view in his World Heavyweight title match against Edge, Kane, and Mysterio. So yeah, I think maybe he might be a good champion. And this is a very good match. I'm rating this Royal Rumble match 4 stars. And overall, this is a very, very nice pay-per-view. Very good. I'm rating this 8 out of 10. Alright, now let's get to part 2. TNA Best of the Bloodiest Brawls, Volume 1, which was made for 2002. Hold on a sec. Which was made from 2004 to 2005. And like I said, this is a very excellent DVD. If you have a DVD store around your neighborhood and it sells old wrestling DVDs and they haven't had this, definitely get this DVD. Very nice DVD. Awesome. Alright, so we go to the first match, which was at Victory Road 2004, the first ever Monsters Ball match, the Alpha Male Monty Brown versus the Monster Abyss versus Raven, and this is a very great match and all. Like, when Raven came down to the ring, he was actually squinting for some reason. I don't get that. I guess maybe because the light was too big. Alright, so then Raven and Monty Brown started pounding at each other. No, wait, I'm sorry, Raven and Abyss. I'm sorry, Raven and Abyss started pounding at each other before Monty Brown came down. They had some okay crowd brawling and stuff. And then the action got into the ring. And we also saw this really great part where Monty Brown and Abyss were on the top rope. And Abyss was going to suplex Monty Brown onto the tacks. And then Raven got in the ring and powerbombed Abyss into the tacks. And after that, the entire arena was going crazy. Seriously, the thumbtacks were stuck in Abyss's arm and all. And like I said, the entire arena was going crazy for that. So that was a very nice spot. And then they also, Raven, he also set up 2 tables, one on the outside and one on the inside. Abyss was on the apron, and then Raven did like some kind of big punch to Abyss, and then Abyss landed off the apron, and he went crashing to the table. And then Monty Brown hit the pounce through to Raven on the table, and he won. So this was okay, I guess. A little too short. They should have made this go a little longer. But very nice match. I'm rating this 3.25 stars. Then the next match... Sorry about that. Then the next match was at TNA Turning Point 2004 in the 6 Sides of Steel match between America's Most Wanted and Triple X. Awesome match. Good. Seriously. In the first 5 minutes of this match... Sorry about that. Anyways, the first 5 minutes of this match, Christopher Daniels already got busted open, and we saw some very nice tag team moves. Like, we saw this great part where Christopher Daniels did like some kind of suplex position to James Storm, and then Elix Skipper did a cross body. That was very nice. And then we also saw this part where Triple X stole America's Most Wanted move, the Death Sentence. And the best part of this match was when Chris Harris was on the top of the cage, or I don't know if it was James Storm or not, I forgot. But Chris Harris was on the top of the cage, and Elix Skipper walked the top of the cage and then did a Hurricane Rana. Very nice spot. And then after this, Christopher Daniels did a very nice elbow drop off the top of the cage. Sorry about this one. And then they did a Tower of Doom part where Christopher Daniels was on the top of the cage, and then James Storm went to go for a suplex, and then Elix Skipper got under James Storm, and then Chris Harris also got under Elix Skipper, and then did the Tower of Doom. And then Chris Harris handcuffed Elix Skipper to the post, and then they were going to go for the death sentence. America's Most Wanted was going to go for the death sentence to Triple X, but then they changed it because and they were going to go for the Powerplex, which was Triple X's move, and then America's Most Wanted hit the the Powerplex on Elix Skipper and got the win. And that was actually a very cool ending because the stipulation of this match was that the losing team was to never team again, and for them to win the match with their own move was pretty cool and all. So this is like I said, this is a very nice match. 5 stars, awesome match. And then the next match was at Destination X 2005, which was practically one of 2005. Which was practically TNA's 2005's worst pay-per-view ever. I don't know if I've ever seen any of them yet, but it was Jeff Hardy versus Abyss in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and this was a very nice match, I gotta admit. We did see some great crowd brawling and all, and we saw them spill into the backstage area, and then Jeff Hardy set up 2 tables. Abyss set up 2 tables, and then Jeff Hardy got Abyss on the tables, and they had like this X forming in like a structure or something on the outside, and then Jeff Hardy climbed to the top of that, and then he was balancing very nice in like the middle of the X, and then he hit a swanton off that, very nice. And then they got back into the arena, and we saw some like cool up and shots and all. Like we saw this part where Abyss was trying to set up a chair in like the like middle post area or something like that. And then Jeff Hardy, he ran over to a chair, leaped onto a chair, and then did like some kind of Arabian facebuster style kick to Abyss. And then we also saw this part where Jeff Hardy did some kind of split-legged leg drop over the top of the ladder onto Abyss. That was very nice. And then Jeff Hardy went to go for a Hurricane Rana to Abyss, and then Abyss reversed that and powerbombed Jeff Hardy off the top rope through the table. That was also very nice. And then the finish came where Jeff Hardy did the Twist of Fate onto the ladder. And then after the match, Abyss did a black hole slam to Jeff Hardy on the tacks. And the entire arena was going very crazy for that. Very nice. So I'm going to rate this 3.25 stars. Pretty good match, I guess. Could have been better. And then we go to the next match, which was at Lockdown 2005, which was AJ Styles versus Abyss. And this is also a very nice match. We saw some great stuff from AJ Styles here. Like, when Abyss came out to the ring, AJ Styles, he actually leaped over the door or something. Like, he leaped through, like, the opening of the door and then onto Abyss. And then Abyss actually Irish whipped AJ Styles into the barricade, but then AJ Styles slid under the guarding rail. That's what I should have said earlier, sorry. And then AJ Styles leaped over the guarding rail, did a Hurricane Rana, that was very nice. And then they did another thing where Abyss also Irish whipped AJ Styles again, and he actually leaped over the steps and into the crowd. He actually leaped over the steps, onto the guarding rail, and into the crowd. Very nice right there. Sorry about that. And then AJ Styles, he leaped out of the crowd and then did like some kind of flying forearm style thing. And they had some great crowd brawling. And the biggest part of the match was when they were near the doorway. AJ Styles got hit with the door in the shoulder, and then Abyss swung the door in AJ Styles' face, and he actually like flew over or something. That was insane right there. Very nice.
And then AJ Styles got busted open after that. And then they got into the cage and had some okay spots. Like we did see this part where Abyss was gonna slam AJ Styles on the chain, and then AJ Styles reversed that and hit a DDT. And then Abyss set up the thumbtacks, and then AJ Styles did the Styles Clash to Abyss on the tacks, and the finish came where AJ Styles did a somersault senton bomb off the top of the cage to Abyss and into the tacks. Very nice finish, and then AJ Styles got the win. A very nice match. You gotta check this one out. I'm rating this 4 stars. Sorry about that. Alright. Then the next match was at Hard Justice 2005. It was Raven versus Sean Waltman in a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match, and this was also a very nice match. We saw some great weapon spots and all. At first Raven was waiting for Sean Waltman, but then Sean Waltman came out of the same tunnel as Raven did and snuck up behind him, and Sean Waltman was going pretty good. And we saw this great spot where Sean Waltman set Raven on a table, and then Sean Waltman squeezed through the poles of the
of the poles that held up the weapons, and then he did some kind of frontward somersault senton bomb to Raven through the table, and then Raven got up, and then Raven actually threw Sean Waltman off of like the stage part of it, like the deeper way, and then that was pretty crazy there. And he actually missed the table and hit the concrete, and then Raven went down there to pin him, and then the referee came down, and X-Pac and Sean Waltman kicked out of that, which was really surprising to me. And then they went back and had a pretty nice match. But here's the problem I had with the match. Raven actually handcuffed X-Pac to the handcuffed X-Pac to the post, and then he was saying, "Hey, have you had enough?" And then X-Pac was like saying, "Come on, give me more," and he was like whipping him with the Singapore cane and all. And then here's the thing came out. Dusty Rhodes actually came out with like some TNA officials, and they uncuffed X-Pac, and then Raven actually saw them, and he should have known that there was something going on, but he didn't. So that was pretty stupid right there. And then X-Pac reversed the third chair shot, because Raven brought a chair this time. And then they got back in the ring. Sean Waltman used a staple gun 3 times, and then Sean Waltman ran at Raven, and then Raven did a back body drop to Sean Waltman through the cage, and then Raven got the pinfall. So this is a good match. I just hated that Dusty Rhodes part. So I'm going to rate this 4 3/4 stars. Very good match, but I just hated the Dusty Rhodes part. And then the next match was at No Surrender 2005. It was Raven versus Abyss in a dog collar match for the NWA Heavyweight Championship. And this is a very good match, I guess. We saw a lot of chairs in this match. And they did this really cool spot where Raven and Abyss were on the top of the entrance ramp, and then Raven kicked Abyss off, and then he went back first off the ramp through the table. And then while Raven was walking down, Abyss yanked on the chain, and then Raven went through the table. That was pretty funny. And then Abyss set up yet another table, like on the corner, and then while they were on the outside, by the way. And then Raven charged Abyss, which was pretty cool. And then Abyss somehow got himself unhooked from the chain, but then Raven actually hit the DDT to Abyss through the thumbtacks, and, well, then he got the win. So this is a very good finish. Very nice. And I'm going to rate this 3.5 stars. Very good match. And then the next match was at Sacrifice 2005. Sorry about that. At Sacrifice 2005, it was Jeff Jarrett and Rhino against Raven and Sabu. This is a good match, I guess. We saw some great tag team moves and some great high-flying spots from Abyss. And we also saw this great part where Abyss interfered in the match and then threw Sabu over the top rope, and Abyss landed stomach first through the table. And Jeff Jarrett was actually really had a bad gusher, because earlier in the match, Raven actually got out a pizza cutter and then sliced Jeff Jarrett pretty good. And then the ending came where Rhino gored Raven through the table. And this is also a very interesting storyline, because in the match, the stipulation was that if Jeff Jarrett pinned Raven, he would get a title shot at the next pay-per-view. And if Raven pinned Jeff Jarrett, then Jeff Jarrett was out of the NWA World Heavyweight title picture for a whole year. But then Raven ended up pinning Raven, which left the announcers with questions and all. And then the next match, oh, by the way, I'm going to rate this match 3 stars, by the way. Almost forgot to say that. And then the next match was at Bound for Glory 2005 in Monsters Ball 2. And this was also a very good match. I mean, very greatly worked and all. These guys worked their asses off. We saw some great crowd brawling from the two. A really great spot from Jeff Hardy when he leaped off like some kind of spot in the crowd. And then they did this really cool part where Sabu did the triple jump leap and put Rhino through a table on the outside. And the craziest part of this match was Jeff Hardy's swanton, of course. Very insane. And we also saw a spot where Rhino gored Abyss through a table. That was pretty cool. And the ending was really, really sick. Rhino did the Rhino driver to Jeff Hardy off the top rope. Very good finish. Very nice. And not only that, this match was really awesome. And then after the match, the entire arena was chanting, "That was awesome!" And they were doing the clapping thing too. So, yeah, very good match. Another 5-star match. That's why I'm rating it 5 stars. So, very nice match. A match you definitely got to check out. And then the next match was at Genesis 2005 in a 6-man tag war. America's Most Wanted and Jeff Jarrett against Team 3D and Rhino. And before the match, Jeff Jarrett and Chris Harris and James Storm actually went to like 3 different parts of the Impact Zone and challenged Team 3D and Rhino to a fight. And the entire match was like a brawl, and the brawling was really, really awesome. And we saw this really cool part in the match where Jeff Jarrett and Rhino were on the top of like some kind of table, like the Spanish announce team, and then Jeff Jarrett just low blowed Rhino, and Rhino actually fell down like off the table, and then he actually fell down like a few flights of stairs and stuff. That was pretty insane right there. And then they did a spot where James Storm actually tried to throw a bottle at Brother Ray, and he missed that. Thank God he did. And then, like I said, the crowd rolling was really excellent in this match. And then Rhino was going to try to go for a gore to Jeff Jarrett on the entrance ramp, but then James Storm hit the super kick. And then, well, the finish came where where America's Most Wanted was going to put Team 3D through a table, but then Team 3D hit James Storm with a 3D, and that was that. So the brawling in this match was very, very awesome. All right, so I'm going to rate this 3 3/4. So that's all. Yeah, a very good match. And then we get to the last match on the DVD, which is at Turning Point 2005 in the Barbed Wire Massacre match. Sabu versus Abyss. Very greatly worked match. We saw some excellent spots in this match. Like, we saw this part where Abyss did like something. He used the chair and then leaped off the chair, and then Sabu's leg got caught in the barbed wire. That was pretty insane right there. And then Abyss also got drop toe holded into the barbed wire, and I kind of find it hard to believe that Abyss never bled from his face in this match. He did have a really bad gash on the arm, though. That's just the only thing I don't get. He never bled from the face, which is kind of weird. But then the ending was also very sick because Abyss actually tried to charge at Abyss actually tried to charge at Sabu, but then Sabu got out of the way, and he also pushed the referee out of the way. And then Abyss was stuck in like the barbed wire, and then he was trying to move out of the way, and then Sabu kicked Abyss, and then Abyss landed on another barbed wire, so he was sandwiched in between the 2 barbed wire boards. Sabu jumped he sat on the barbed wire boards, and then he won the match. Very greatly worked match. Awesome. So I'm rating this 4 stars, and I'll also get to the extras too. The extras saw like some kind of bonus footage of the Barbed Wire Massacre match, and like some different camera angles from it, and they also showed the footage where Sabu was getting stitches and all, and I really did see a big gash in Abyss's arm. He was getting stitches for that. Man, I never knew that gash was so big. Jeez, and like I saw this interview Abyss had with Mike Tenay back in 2008, and he said that the scars from the first ever Barbed Wire Massacre match have healed, but I never expected them to be that deep. Jeez. And then also we saw a clip of Raven getting his head scalped by Father James Mitchell after Shane Douglas beat him in that hair versus hair match. And well, that was also a very nice angle too. I like that. And I gotta say, this DVD, definitely a 10. 10 out of 10. Awesome DVD. Definitely get this. Well, that's all the time I have for you today. I'm Wrestling Fan 011. I'm out. Peace.